I'd like to talk this morning about the urban agricultural movement in Detroit.
Okay, you're on the air.
Okay. You know, it's a movement that's developed so naturally and organically. 1973-74, as I recall, was a pivotal year. That was when the energy crisis exposed the absurdity of trucking vegetables thousands of miles from California and Florida. So Detroiters began viewing the vacant lots in their neighborhoods less as eyesores and more as invitations to use the food-growing skills they had brought with them from the South. Driving around the city is, for me, one of the ways whereby I identify with the city. This is a city that I really feel is my home, that I really feel responsible for. Driving is a very restful, a place to reflect. If I get stuck in some of my writing, if I drive around after a while, a phrase comes to me, and I can come home and continue. One of the convictions driving the movement is that we can't free ourselves until we feed ourselves. In other words, we will only be empowered to make our own choices when we can meet our basic needs. So that's it. See you next month. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. I came here in June of '53, and it was so green. It was so beautiful. And everything was, at that point, a lot of people had not gotten cars. It was in the later 50s that they got cars. And a lot of people were walking. You'd walk down the street, people would say hello to you as if you were living in a small town. People trusted one another. It was just amazing. The community was like an extended family. There was always that sense that the country was here. Even with all the factories, I think because the people themselves had come from the country so much. And you know that you can take people out of the country, but you can't take the country out of the people. That's, I think, always been true of the people of Detroit. Even though at one point it was supposed to have been, you know, the fifth largest city in the country. It has gone so far down that it has to go up some way. I mean, it has to find some way. Because of the growth of multinational corporations and the export of jobs overseas, industry was not coming back to the city. So we recognized that we would never be able to go back to the past, that what we needed to do was build a city that was made up of communities, and that gardening would be, and small businesses would be a central part of this new economy. And from that, we began seeing that people were already doing this and began creating the movement. The gardens are, I suppose, there may be thousands of them, but we haven't been able to make that leap in consciousness that still needs to be made for people to understand what a true change of values is involved in the urban agricultural movement. And it has to come from people wanting to do something, believing in what they're doing, and gaining something sort of immediately practical from it. People have lost that faith that there can be a connection between effort and result. And I think gardening provides that.